What's up, chaotic community? I am your host, Max Lord, and I have returned for a part two of our original unboxing video. So we are going to jump back into it and start with the player's official guidebook. And as you can see, you have that exclusive Rhymusa promo card inside. It is sealed, or at least that's what it said when I bought it online. We're going to confirm that together today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Go ahead and pull that out. Gentle like. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to keep this. I'm going to get started. For those of you that don't know what the official's player guide is, or what that may obtain, to be very specific, um, this contained a lot of lore for characters. It told you the height, the weight, their favorite battle gear, I think their favorite location. Um, these are all different archetypes of the game. So there's 5 different cards: creatures, battle gear, attacks, music, and locations. Locations are where the creatures fight, where creatures live, where the battles are going to take place when you're battling another player. Music is a combination of magic and music. If you watch the TV show, that's more, you get a more visual of how that's explained and broken down in depth. But to be short, music is like the equivalent of having a spell, basically. Like you would have mana cards in different TCGs. This is just your spells, and very specific spells go to very specific tribes. Um, and then attacks are what you would battle with. So instead of it being like you have a power meter that you go over as far as like how strong a monster is, you do have that, as we do have power as one of the stats and disciplines that you can identify by. But as far as dealing damage to your opponent, you deal it with attacks. And it'll be based off of whatever abilities or credentials you meet on said attack. And then, of course, battle gear is weapons, and every creature can get a weapon. Or if you play by the apprentice rules, I think that's just the creatures, attacks, and locations. You don't use music or battle gear. But if you play by the official traditional rules, then you would use all of the card archetypes. It does appear that this is sealed, because as you can see, based on that glare, this does have a plastic on it. And that's a great visual. I'm actually glad that this camera's doing a much better job of focusing. I know we had a little trouble with that last vid, but it looks like that is over. I am going to show the back for those that are interested in that as well. So let's go ahead, and we have Narfall as that creature with the cape and the dark energy blast coming out. And then it's got some random stuff on there. We can read that. Let's see what that says. Unlock the secrets of Perim. Every chaotic card revealed. So that was another thing too. This was a sort of index or glossary, if whichever one you want to identify by, as far as the individual cards in the first 2 sets, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there were Silent Sands in here, but there definitely was Dawn of Perim and Zenith of the Hive. So the first 2 sets that were released within the game, it showed you all the cards, a ton of stats. And like I said, there's a lot of lore in here. There's tips for how to play the game, or just different strategies on how to utilize certain characters for each tribe. And I think that was fascinating, and also resourceful for anybody that was new to the game or sort of was trying to figure out what was their place awareness in regards to like what cards do I want to buy? What's my play style? Do I have a play style? If I don't know what that looks like, well then let's see how these guys function. Okay, that doesn't meet my criteria, then we'll see how these guys function. And now you got 5 tribes to choose from. Technically 6 if you can consider the tribalist creatures, they're generic, so you can use them with any tribe since they don't have a loyalty to anybody. They just fight for themselves. And then you have Overworld, Underworld, Mepedian, Danian, and of course the famous Marillions. Um, let's see what else we have on here. Quick reference tables helps you find the perfect cards for your deck fast. Strategies and sample decks galore. Raise unstoppable armies with any tribe. Discipline and energy stats ranges for all creatures card revealed. So this was cool because if you didn't know what the minimum was for a discipline or the energy of a creature, energy being what you would refer to as health in this game, um, this would tell you the range between that. Because remember, each card had a unique code and each card was different. So you could have a Maxer card and I can have a Maxer card, but they won't have the exact same stats and they won't have the exact same code. So they're going to be unique. But this would tell you the difference on what was the exact variations as far as each discipline from courage, power, wisdom, speed, and energy. What's the difference going to look like, and specifically the range for it for each individual creature. So I thought that was awesome. But we're gonna go ahead and open it up so you guys can see that for yourselves. Gentle. We're gonna do this without damaging the book because that's the last thing we want to do. All right, we lucked out. Then I'll show the exclusive right news. So one more time for you guys to get a good close up for that. I don't know if it. I feel like I didn't show you guys exactly. Oh wow, that actually comes right on. So yeah, that's a perfect use of that. Okay, maybe I'll keep that. Try to reserve that for something. I don't know. We shall see. I'm gonna hold it up just like that for you guys to check out. Yeah, there we go. So now you can see Rymusa in all his glories. Beautiful. Beautiful artwork. Such a great promo. Honestly, I don't know if that's the first official promo physical card we got, but if it is, great choice. Uh, as the revival gets closer and closer to us, I do hope they revive, not necessarily revive, but they make prints for a lot of the promo cards that were only online only. Or we only got to see them in the show because there was a lot of creatures, just a lot of cards in general in season 1 that never got a print. So hopefully that changes. We'll find out over time. But I think that'd be a great opportunity for them to introduce some really sought out cards that we never got, and just expand upon the inventory we have as far as options. I think that's always a great thing to have in a game is you want to give people options. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And right away we did find that the card is in there. Now I don't want this to fall, and I can't show you guys that thing until I put one of these bad boys on it. Just so I can make sure nobody takes that code. I know most of you are honest, but we do have people that tend to take advantage of those that don't know any better, or just not necessarily gullible, but not cautious enough. So if you're going to cover anything chaotic related, one of my greatest advice I can give to you is please use one of these to cover up that code, or have your thumb in the middle of that when you show it off to the camera for people to focus on, so that they cannot type your code in and steal what you rightfully paid for. Uh, that obviously happened back in the day when the game at first initially launched, which is kind of unfortunate, but YouTube was still newer. We didn't really realize the pros and cons and some of the dangers of covering content that allows somebody to either pause or take a picture or something and steal something that, once again, digitally you won't have access to. Uh, but yeah, my greatest advice I can say is, if you have, even if it's just one, use it on the same or every card in your video. It'll just help out in the long run. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. All right. So it does look like we got a minimum Rhymusa. I'm not against that because honestly, I'm just grateful to have the card. This thing is actually kind of expensive to want to get individually, so I think I'm complacent. Maybe if I change my mind later, I'll get another, but for now, no, I'm good. It's not as nearly as good as my max energy I got when I was a kid, but great stats. Great stats, and I'm gonna let you guys check that out too. There we go. Beautiful. So you guys can see the artwork. I'm gonna hold it actually like this in the middle so I don't cover up anything important. Beautiful. So you can see he has one magician counter, which is what that one at the bottom corner stands for. He's got earth, he's got water as far as elements and attacks he can do. Um, yeah, great stuff. He's an overworlder. That's what that blue symbol at the top right was for. Uh, and he's not an ultra rare, he's not a super rare. So that hollow you see, and actually in the corner, you can kind of read it. It should say promo. I know it says promo, but you guys should be able to read promo once the camera focuses. There we go. Yeah, great stuff. And I'll read the dialogue at the bottom. The vicious winds of the crystal range slash the flesh, but sharpen the soul. And Raimisa is an overworld warrior. Really cool stuff. So we're gonna put him in a very safe place later. Actually, this is a great opportunity for us to use the side loaders. Because why not? He gets the pleasure of being the first card ever placed in one of these. Brand new. How about that? Throw some card art. Wait for that to focus. Beautiful. You got Nadrin, Takinam, some alternative Maxer art, and then a guy that you just see me remove my hand from. That is Dardamus, an Underworlder. So we definitely got some iconic characters in here. Uh, I will read the welcome part, just a little bit of it. Thank you for purchasing Primus official Chaotic Companion Guide. Whether you enjoy playing Chaotic with friends or can't wait to participate in exciting online battle drone battles, this book is filled with all the tips, strategies, and card information you need to become a master Chaotic player and command the tribes of Perim in no time. What is Chaotic? Chaotic is a revolutionary trading card game TCG community that combines an exciting animated TV series, free online battle drone battling, and friendly in-person gameplay into one exceptional experience. That's right, it's the first trading card game specifically designed to merge tabletop trading card battles with online gameplay. And that is a fact. It is one of the strong arguments in regards to why it's such a unique TCG from all the others, or at least at the time was, and it still is going to be when this thing comes back in revival. I truly believe that they will have the best online experience. I think that on the tech side, they're going to show why they were always ahead of the curve and honestly just ahead of their time when it comes to the innovation side of this game. We're going to read one more thing, which is just how chaotic works. And this is just so you guys have a breakdown as far as people that aren't familiar with how chaotic works, or maybe you forgot. This should tell you how chaotic works. Every chaotic trading card is printed with a unique alphanumeric code that lets chaotic players upload their personal card collections onto the official www.chaoticgame.com website. This gives players the power to interact with their chaotic cards in ways they never could with any other trading cards. Upload your collection to www.chaoticgame.com and you'll enter a new dimension in trading card game. There you can challenge and battle opponents in battles held in the virtual battle drones, trade your digital cards, and make friends with fellow online players from all over the world, discuss gaming tips and techniques with online buddies, and much more. It's all possible. All you have to do is enter the code. All right. Now that I've shown that off, um, there are some pictures of what the site used to look like, but man, it's so outdated. I kind of don't want to show you guys that because it's not even close to. It's the very first version, not even the huge revamp and update we got when they came out with some of the later sets like Marillion Invasion. Um, what I will do is show sort of the glossary or even just like the lore stuff they have. They have so much in here. Um, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. So actually, if you guys want that, let me know in the comments. We'll make a separate video where I just go into this book thoroughly because again, you can't get this anywhere. I hope that they re-released it, but I don't even know if Prima Games, the company itself, still makes, well, not even just player guides, but if they're even still around. So that kind of comes into play, but they could always partner with somebody else. But we'll see what happens. You guys let me know if you would like a separate video that shows all the content in here. More than happy to make the time for it. But we'll jump into the Dawn of Perim stuff. Let's start with the individual ones. And like I said in the last video, we're going to do Underworlders first. So we'll do that. Before we do that, I'm actually going to put this back in here, so it can remain in a safe location. And I gotta tell you, the first book I had all the way through my adulthood until I finally sold that. It was in good condition, not mint for sure, because my cover was bent in the corners, and I mean it's just not a hard, yeah, it's just not a hard case or hard front book, so hard cover I should say. So it's not going to age well over time in crazy conditions. Not that it was in crazy conditions, but it definitely wasn't in controlled environment. So that comes into play. All right. Now these did come, and only these two is what I'm referring to. There you can see Maxor. And then I'm going to show off. There we go, the Silent Sands booster pack. These two come with that. That's not how they are normally like though. But from the person I purchased these online from, these came with them sealed, so that was nice of them. I mean, technically, I paid for it, but still nice gesture to have. It does look like this sticks. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys. Yeah, without damaging the back. It's unfortunate. I might be able to get this tape off. Look at that. I was able to make it work. Gotta have faith, right? And actually, you can see a little bit of the website there. Or at least that's kind of like a preview. I don't know if there ever was a point where they had the hologram over them. I know it ended up being like you would just see the chaotic art like you see on the left and right of Atacat and Takinam, but still a cool feature. I would love to see that in the revival. Should they come out with an app, which I'm sure they will, and a website that'll be intertwined, hopefully. But really cool stuff. And I'll show you the front as well, so you guys can check that out. Yeah, got my man K or first edition Dawn of Perim. Amazing stuff. It does look like I'm almost coming up to my cap. So this is gonna be breaking up some probably more than 3 parts just because I'm doing a lot of in-depth breakdown in between. And nothing wrong with that at all. But since we're working with what we got, I'll make sure to come to a good start ending point in this video as well. And then I think the ones coming after this, I will just unbox less explanatory stuff in there and more so rushing through because these are going to take quite a bit of time. So we'll show off the booster pack one more time. And we're just going to open that. There we go. And that's actually got one of my favorite Pettians on it. Milk. He's a Pettian Stalker, if I'm not mistaken. That's amazing artwork. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Ooh, look at that close up. Great stuff, man. Back. And actually, I might read that real quick. This pack contains a random assortment of 9 cards from 100 Silent Sands Chaotic Trading Card Game booster packs. Set content subject to change. Stated odds reflect an average of the entire production run. No ratio is guaranteed to exist within an individual box or case. 2008, 4Kids Entertainment Incorporated and Chaotic USA Entertainment Group Incorporated. Chaotic is a registered trademark of Home Focus Development, Limited U.S. patent. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and open this bad boy up. Looks like there's another one. I'm going to read that. In the setting sun, the conjurers knelt down in the catacombs, focusing their musical energies on a single point, the harmony of their chant and the intricate patterns of indigo blue that adorned the room paled in the swirling nexus of the war beast. Those who felt the blast wave across the desert knew its nature. This was the ill omen mentioned in legends of yore. This was the night of the war beast, heated by the silent sands. It's a great intro. All right. Oh man, I already spoiled it. So it looks like you're opening them. I want to open them this way so you don't spoil the super ultra you might get. I've actually never pulled this card. I've bought this card, so this is a great experience for me, and I'm glad I can share this with you guys. Okay, man, what are the odds? Okay, here we go. So we have Melody of Parasitic Mayhem, Blind Fury, Titanics, one of the few war beasts, Mepedian Dew Farm, Enlightened Tenacity, Overworld Embassy at Mepedium Oasis. Then we got your boy Milk, that was on the cover of the foil. Beautiful artwork. Then we have Chalor, a super rare within the Silent Sand set. So what a great pool. Trying to really get that in there. And one of my personal favorites in the overworld, a max energy Victar. Um, there we go. Beautiful. We'll try Chalor one more time. I want you guys to be able to check that out too. Perfect. Very nice. All right. Great pulls. So we're gonna end the video on that note, but you guys got to see a really, really, really good pack in my opinion. Having a rare Overworlder and a super rare Battle Gear on the first pack, I'm excited to do the second one.